Greetings, Metalheads. Welcome to another edition of the Friday the 13th YouTube channel. Thanks for checking in. So, today you're going to be watching an interview with Nigel Rockett from the UK thrash band Onslaught. We're going to be talking about some anniversary releases that's coming out later on this year. We're talking about the Sound of Violence, also the Six album, and the Generation Antichrist, all going to be reissued later on in November on red vinyl, so check them out. So, thanks for watching, folks. Enjoy the interview and please share on social media. And thanks, Nigel, for the interview. Stay safe, metalheads. Up. So, Nigel, we're talking to Nigel from Onslaught. How are you doing, Nigel? It's been a while since we last spoke. How's things?
Yeah, I'm okay, mate. A few issues, but we're getting on with things. So yeah, I don't know if you've heard, I've done my shoulder in, so I've actually missed 5 shows that we've been playing recently.
No, I haven't. What happened?
Yeah, I don't know. It's bizarre. I woke up one morning, my arm was completely dead. I've had an MRI scan last week to try and find out what's going on. So just waiting results on that, really. But
oh, well, good luck. Hope everything's okay for you. So, what shows were you playing? Were they in Europe or were they in the UK?
I missed one in the US and 4 in Europe so far. So.
Oh wow! So did the band go without you and get a replacement standing for you? Oh wow!
No, Dave, our vocalist, is stepping in for me at the moment. I didn't go along to Obscene Extreme on the weekend, but I travelled with the guys on all the other shows.
Oh, okay. Well, so get better soon, man. Keep in touch. Let me know how you get on. So, Nigel, so the last time we did an interview was for the V1 album. That was when you were touring with Artillery in Sheffield. So I was interviewing Sarah that night. So I'm going to ask you some warm-up questions first. When you look back at the first 2 albums, Powers from Hell and The Force, which one's your favourite, and why do you have a favourite?
I'd say The Force is my favourite personally out of the 2. I think we'd sort of grown a lot as a band by the time we'd written and recorded that record, as opposed to Power from Hell, and it's got some of my favourite Onslaught tracks on that album. So yeah, definitely The Force.
And what did you think about the In Search of Sanity? Because that was originally recorded with Si's vocals, wasn't it? It was a lot heavier. What I believe Si was telling me back when he said it was a lot heavier, and so you did it with Steve Grimmer.
Yeah, I mean the demos were pretty much a natural progression from the Force album. The label sort of took a lot of control over making that album. They wanted a kind of more polished sound. Didn't really like Si's vocals too much. Basically changed everything. Brought in Grimmett, really kind of behind our backs, which wasn't a really cool move, but I see what they were trying to do, but it wasn't a good time, They were trying to make us into Metallica overnight and not letting us naturally evolve, I mean, the albums sound great. We can't fault that, but it's definitely a diluted version of Onslaught, if you like.
Yeah, that was the first tour I saw you on with Annihilator at Nottingham Rock City. I remember it. It was a band called Horse opened up for you. I think they were called.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Got some good photos from that. Got some good photos from that gig. So if you ever need any photos for a book, let me know.
Cool. Yeah, for sure.
So have you ever actually thought of releasing them In Search of Sanity with Si's vocals?
No, I don't even have a copy, to be honest. Because again, it was a diluted version of Onslaught. Even Si's version never got really mixed properly, So we're actually in the process of re-recording some of the tracks right now. We've done 2 tracks so far, just to give it the true Onslaught vibe, bring them in line with the rest of the material, with the vocal style it should have had on it, And it sounded really good, to be honest. It sounds absolutely great. I mean, I love the songs on that album. I just didn't like the kind of direction it went. It was far too mainstream for my liking.
Yeah, a bit too dramatic from one extreme to like something boom the other
side.
Oh
yeah, for sure. Too much of a juxtaposition. It was massive.
Oh God! So I mean, after that, you've done quite a few albums. I mean, you did Killing Time. You came back in 2007 after that big break. What made you want to come back?
Um, Basically, the way things ended with the band and what happened with In Search of Sanity, kind of got disillusioned with the metal scene, sort of late 90s, early 90s, sorry. And don't know. Steve Grice kind of put a plan together for the band, asked everybody if they were interested. I kind of seen it as an opportunity to put right some of the wrongs that happened back at the end of the 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, I mean, the Killing Piece, if I believe right, I think I saw you at Bloodstock indoors for that album. Was that when you came back for that album? Or
Yeah,
did...
yeah, that was the first show, one of the first shows back. So yeah, it was very cool. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if we played any stuff on there. I can't remember if the album was out or not at the time. I don't think it was. I think we recorded it, but it wasn't actually released. But yeah, I mean, it was very cool of Bloodstock to put us on. We've had a great relationship with them guys ever since.
Yeah, I mean, that was a heavy, brutal album. I guess that would have been the third album if you hadn't have done In Search of Sanity the way it turned out. Am I guessing saying that? I'm right in saying
Well,
that?
yeah, I mean that's the kind of way I looked at it. Just to make everything truly Onslaught again. Yeah, it wasn't Onslaught with the In Search of Sanity album. But you'll hear the difference once we've done Shell Shock so far, and the actual track In Search of Sanity. And the difference is massive. It's very aggressive now. It's much more Onslaught. Sounded like what we're doing now and what we did in the past. It's not diluted in any way.
I mean, if I believe right in saying that Killing Piece had kind of much the original lineup from like the Force era, is that correct?
No, it was me, obviously me, Steve, and Si, and Alan, Jordan, and another guy who I'd done some stuff with in sort of when Onslaught finished, and Jim, who was on Jim Hinder, who was on the In Search of Sanity album. So it was kind of four mix up from the Force and the Sanity record.
Was it a good seller for you as a comeback album?
Killing Peace.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Candlelight did an amazing job. Really put our name back on the map, and we kind of came back at a good time. I mean, we'd found out that Blackened Records had re-released Power from Hell and The Force on CD. So we got in touch with them. They've been out like 2 or 3 years, I think. Spoke to the guys, and they said they'd sold them fantastically well, and it just seemed like the right time, so being a subsidiary of that Blackened Records, Candlelight took us on for the Killing Peace album. Yeah, they did an amazing job, especially in America. So it was a great comeback for us.
It took about another 5 years or so before you did the next album, Sound of Violence. I mean, why did it take so long, and why did you not stay with Candlelight? I mean, if that was such a successful album as a comeback, I mean, things went quiet after that for a while, didn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I mean, obviously we did the Live Damnation thing in 2009. I think what year was Sounds of Violence 2011 early maybe, but I mean, we were still finding our legs, It took a long time to get songs written for Killing Peace. Because we'd been away for so long, it was readjusting to playing was very difficult in itself, let alone writing new songs that were going to work for the band. And we did a hell of a lot of touring once Killing Peace had come out. We toured all over the world straight after that. So a lot of time was taken up with that. And as I said, we did the Live Damnation album. Then we concentrated on writing a new record, which was Sounds of Violence. So, but it took quite a while. But it was a nice process. Working with Andy Rosser Davis on that, I feel we made some good material together.
Right then.
And as for your question, Candlelight, that is a very good question, which I haven't really got an answer. AFM Records came to us in that period before Sounds of Violence came out and wanted to put a track on a compilation they were doing, and also they threw into the hat they'd be interested in signing the band for the next record. And our deal with Candlelight was with one album only. AFM were offering 3, so we were kind of looking a bit more long term. And obviously, with Germany being the biggest market in Europe, we felt it was a good move to a German label at the time. So yeah, I mean that's the main reason that we went along with AFM. We've been with them ever since, so they've been doing a fantastic job themselves.
Right then, so in 2007 you made a comeback with the Killing Peace album. Was there a reason why you came back? Was it a fan base thing asking you to make a reformation? What happened there? What was the reason for coming back?
Well, as I said, we found out that Blackened had released Power from Hell in the Force. I think that was kind of 2004, maybe. So we thought, hang on, somebody owes us some money here. So we kind of chased it up, and they did actually owe us a fairly substantial sum. Yeah. So that can't. I mean, I hadn't even checked what was going on with the band and what have you, the band's name over those years. I just completely moved out of music, really. So little things like that kind of trigger the interest, and we started surfing the internet and finding out that so many people were talking about the band for some reason, and it just kind of created this little revival for us, even though we weren't actually back together. So that was kind of an inspiration for us to sort of it's okay, let's have a look what's going on here. Even though thrash wasn't particularly strong around the sort of mid 2000s, but there was a kind of inkling that something was going to happen. So we thought, yeah, it'd be nice to get ahead of this, and if it's going to happen, we're going to be one of the guys who helped the thrash revival again. And it did turn out that way. It was we seemed to come back at a good time, and everything worked.
Right then, did you do anything after Onslaught when they broke up after Search of Sanity? Did you perform a band at all with anybody else, or do you just quit music for a while?
No, I formed another band called Power Junkies, and that was with Jeff, our bass player now in Onslaught, and we did that, and it was kind of cool. It was kind of Sex Pistols meets Metallica type thing, metally punk with a real attitude, you know. And we were actually on the verge of something big, you know. Rod Smallwood, Maiden's manager, was taking a look at us very heavily. He phoned me up in the day on driving to work and said, "Nice, listen to this." And he's like blasting a couple of the tracks out when he's stuck in traffic, which was really cool. And we had Sony interested in Japan. And then for some bizarre reason, it just all fell apart. Which for me then was kind of the final nail in the musical coffin, if you like. After the disappointments with Onslaught, and then this Power Junkies project fell apart at the final hurdle, you know, and it was kind of painful, you know. So it's time to leave the music industry at the moment. I didn't like what was going on with the grunge scene and stuff like that, and I just didn't have any interest in music anymore. So just walked away, put the guitars under the bed, and that was it.
All right, because I know, like you said, that punk band that you had, that punk metal band, was very much like Power from Hell. That was kind of a punky thrash album as well, wasn't it, for a debut?
Yeah, it was a very, very different kind of vibe to that. It was more sort of a different kind of attitude, you know, quite hooky. And we're still talking about maybe releasing it nowadays. It's still stand the test of time. So me and Jeff are maybe looking at kind of revisiting that at some point when we got some downtime.
So are you going to be? How many songs did you actually do for this band? I mean, did you do enough songs for an album?
I think we got about 9, and there's some other stuff kind of lying about from what we did. So yeah, it'd be very easy to put an album together for it. So when like I said, when we got a little bit of downtime, I might sort of revisit that and take a look, because it's very valid, and it's still quite would fit into the scene today, you know.
So what would you class it as then, if you had to put it in category? Would it be hardcore, more hardcore? Would it be the crossover of thrash and punk?
No, like I said, it was more Pistols in the vibe of punk rather than Discharge, you know. So kind of hooky, with sort of maybe a little bluesy based on the guitar parts, you know. But it really had a great vibe, and it was really quite heavy at the same time, which is kind of different. I mean, a lot of stuff I've not heard like it. You could say it was very difficult to pigeonhole it. It just has a real good groove, but it has that Pistols feel to it and Metallica vibe at the same time.
I'm interested. Is there anything on YouTube that people can listen to, or is it all hush at the minute?
No, it's all under lock and key at the moment.
Fair enough.
As it's been for the last, well, since 94, 95. It's been sort of locked away.
I mean, it's kind of strange because with everybody being in lockdown, it makes you think life's too short. You know.
Yeah, we definitely do something with it for sure, 100%. It's we feel it's too good to not do anything. It'd be a waste if we didn't put it out there.
Do you think AFM records are released, or are you going to try somebody that's a bit more directed to that side of music?
Yeah, I think I'd probably have to give them the first option due to our contract, the way it is. But I don't see it being too far away from something they kind of release. You know, I mean, they're not an out and out route or label or nothing like that. So I'm sure they'd be into something a little bit more diverse than Onslaught.
So, I mean, the next song that we did the Sound of Violence. We're going to talk about that shortly. But what songs from that album stand out for you, Nigel? And what's your favourite ones from that album?
Sounds of Violence.
Yeah.
The title track probably, and Born for War probably one of my other favourite tracks. It's generally I have an affinity for most of the opening tracks on all our albums. You know,
So
they're generally the fastest ones and most aggressive. So.
Right, was it a good seller then, with it being on?
Yeah, I mean, again, it took us the next step at the ladder again. First time we'd done a proper video this time around. Video went great and gave us lots of exposure. So yeah, definite kick on in the figures from Bill and Peace.
I think I saw you at Bloodstock for that album. I'm pretty sure the backdrop at Bloodstock was the album cover. Was that correct?
That's right. Yeah. That was the main stage, I guess, on that one.
So it was a brilliant song. I mean, after that he did the V1. I mean, that was the last album that Cy did with you. Why did Cy leave? Was it a reason? Was it the music industry or?
There's a few factors. I think Cy find it difficult touring, and as a band, we would tour constantly. I mean, probably not a lot of people know, but because, let's say in the UK, you don't notice when a band's touring all around the world. I mean, we played over 70 different countries now as a band, and we tour. We toured between, I think, when we released 6 up until 2018, you know, solidly, all across the world, you know. And so I found it tough sometimes. And I think the last tour we did was particularly grueling. I think we did 42 dates in the US and probably more in Europe, you know, on the very last one, which was the I think it was the 4th anniversary tour. It went on. It was meant to be 1 year, but it went on for 2 years. So yeah, he found that pretty tough, you know. And I think he wanted to take a step back from touring. But it's something that the rest of us love and is very important in moving the band forward, you know. So when we got back and kind of took a bit of time off, I think Cy had got a new job, and he really enjoyed doing what he did. And I guess a mixture of the two things, not loving touring so much and getting this new job, really kind of swung it for him that it's not what he wanted to do anymore.
Yeah, if I remember right, I saw you on that tour with Artillery, and there was a band from India. I can't.
That's right. Yeah.
Something Disharmonic, I think they were called.
Demonic Resurrection.
That's the ones. Yeah, how did you get on with those guys? Because they were
brilliant. Yeah, it was really cool. Very good.
Yes, I saw you with Sheffield with Mike Exley, if I remember rightly.
That's right. Yeah. No, they were lovely guys. Those really nice guys to have on board, and great, easy to work with, you know. And I still speak to them now and again. So,
I mean, like the last time did Generation Antichrist, you had a bit of a lineup change. I had another guitarist, different drummer, Hellbastard's former drummer, I believe, on the current lineup. So how did you hook up with those guys?
Well, James actually was going to join Onslaught in 2011 after Steve left, but he had a serious illness at the time, and we were just due to go off for like 3 months on tour. And we said, look, James, you seriously can't do this, man. You need to get yourself sorted. I mean, this could be potentially life-threatening, and you can't go off on tour in this kind of situation. So unfortunately, that James didn't join at that point. I think he came in debt for us in 2013, 14 maybe. Come to South America with us, which was cool. And then obviously we had Mike Horahan in the band for quite a while. You know? Then I got a call from James, I think 2018, 2019, said, Nigel, I'm free. I'm ready to come back to Onslaught if the opportunity's there. And the opportunity had come around, so it was great to welcome him back into the band properly this time.
Brilliant.
So, yeah.
So, I mean, the last album, and Generation Antichrist, what songs off that album do you like and why? Is there any favourites?
I love the track Generation Antichrist and Bow Down to the Clowns. I mean, there's quite a variation on there. Yeah? Strike Fast, Strike Hard again, the opening track, very aggressive. So, yeah, I mean, it's my favourite album, I think, overall, in terms of liking an amount of songs on there very strongly. I think we captured something. We kind of went a little bit retro with some of the stuff, and I'd actually used some old punk riffs, what we had from the early days, on certain sections of certain songs, and it just worked well. It just gave a totally fresh vibe, even though it was more retro. It kind of also sounded a step forward modern as well. So the response to the album's been fantastic from the press, the fans. So we kind of got it right, I think.
Right, and when you say old riffing, would you say something like from Power From Hell album, that sort of riffing, that era?
No, pre that demos. I mean, the chorus on Strike Fast, Strike Hard, very kind of dischargey riff. But it's something that we had back in 1982, 83. So I just felt it would fit nicely in, and there's a couple of other ideas on it. I think the track was All Seeing Eye, used some parts of riffs there and built new things around it. So yeah, it's I mean, you'll hear stuff on because some of it we're planning for the future later on this year, early next year, and you kind of get the vibe where that came from when we released this album.
So the title for the last album, Generation Antichrist, did you have any other titles for the album?
No, that's kind of been the working title all the way through. It just seemed to fit everything what was happening with us and in the world at the same time, you know. So it kind of stuck, and it felt it was a very strong title for the record. So yeah, I mean, we're working on a new album now. Not really got a working title yet. I've got a load of song titles in the bag, but nothing we've really kind of put down as a definitive title for the record as yet.
It's kind of very Egyptian sort of, looking at the eye in the middle with the triangle. It's very Egyptian sort of looking.
Yeah. I mean, the issues that occur, particularly in the Middle East, and I find some of the Middle Eastern vibe in music really quite dark, and I think it fits in metal in very well, in particular if you listen to bands like Nile. And we like to incorporate some sort of Egyptian Arabic kind of sounds, like we listen to like Children of the Sand on the Six album, and things like that. It just has a nice darkness rather than playing the standard kind of chord progressions or solo modes, you know. Just gives it a little bit of difference.
Okay, then so you said you got some new songs, bro. I mean, have you any idea when this new album's going to be released?
No. It's a different one because we're kind of currently concentrating on the 40th anniversary thing at the moment. So that's kind of taking all our time in terms of music creation. We were just recording some guitar tracks yesterday, or Dave was doing some bits for something that's going to come, as I said, late in this year, early next year, which is going to be very cool. And I think the fans are going to find it really interesting.
Right then, so I'd like to say congratulations on the 40th anniversary of Onslaught. For me, it's 34 years of Friday the 13th, so I'm not far behind you.
It's mad. I just don't know where time's gone. It's crazy.
So we're going to talk about the reissues because they're all coming out on vinyl, aren't they? With bonus songs. Is it just vinyl alone, or are they coming out on CD as well?
I think they're coming out on CD, as far as I know. But I'm not too clued up on management's dealing with that. But I do believe they're coming out on both formats. Fingers crossed, because vinyl's kind of got a resurgence again. So I'd like to see it online because it just looks so much better with the artwork and all the sleeves and stuff. So.
Right then, so I mean, these have got bonus songs. I know you've got Sound of Violence. I've got the biography for that, so I know what's going to come out with it. So you've got like bonus songs on there, and you've got like 8 bonus songs on the CD with that.
Yeah, I'm still not sure actually what's going on. There's some live stuff going on. That's probably about as far as it goes, as far as I know what's happening. You know, I'm sort of concentrating on other stuff while I think Jeff and our manager kind of dealing with all the extras on what go on that kind of thing, you know. So I'm just working on the material at the moment while them guys do all that, because Jeff's the artist. He needs sort of putting all the packaging together and what have you. So I'm really not sure exactly what's on there.
So
I just thought it'd be cool.
So what's the packaging then, Nigel? Is it the same as pretty much as the original? Or have you got extra liner notes with photos?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen it yet, to be honest. The first I've seen of the new steel, I know Jeff has done a kind of reworking of the original artwork for Sounds of Violence, but I'm not sure what else he's got put together as yet, because obviously they're just doing the pre-sale at the moment, so I haven't seen the full spec on the artwork, so I can't really fill you in on that, Chase.
Right, are they remastered, these reissues, or is it just put out on vinyl on CD? What's happening with them?
Well, I think they're just reissues as far as I know. I think I mean, for me, those albums in particular sounded amazing as they were. So I didn't really see it would benefit from any kind of remaster, you know. I think the label had sold out of stock of everything. So it's obviously a great opportunity to put some other pieces together and relaunch the product, you know, especially Generation Antichrist, if that comes, which I believe they're going to do, because obviously during the pandemic we weren't able to tour it, even though it sold fantastically well. We couldn't actually go out and physically tour that record. So once we start touring properly again, I think the album's going to be available, relaunched. You know?
Right then, because I'm looking at the biography that the record company AFM. It's like disc 2 for Sound of Violence has got like Bomber Bar, Motorhead. You've got Angel of Death, I presume Slayer.
No. We had a song called Angels of Death long before Slayer, mate.
All right.
That was on Power. That was on Power from Hell before Rain in Blood had come out.
So why did you want to? So why did you want to do Bomber as a cover of all the classic Motorhead songs, or did you think that was the most aggressive song they did that would fit Onslaught's music?
No, obviously the affinity we have for Motorhead, you know, touring with the guys and becoming friends with the guys, and I think we don't do cover versions very often, and that was something we one of my favourite tracks at Motorhead. So yeah, I mean, we got Phil playing on it, Phil Campbell, and Tom from Sodom shared the vocals with Si. So it was just a kind of real cool thing to do for us, you know, bit of fun. But we've got another Motorhead track coming on the album that we're going to release for the 40th anniversary, which is quite apt because it's the 40 years of this song as well for Motorhead, so it's very kind of linked together. But it sounds incredible so far. Another one of my favourite tracks of Motorhead. So I won't tell you what it is yet because it sounds cool. Yeah.
So I mean, the other songs on there, you've got like Thermonuclear Devastation of the Planet Earth. That's also as a bonus CD, and then you've got Rest in Pieces live, Sound of Violence live, Metal Forces live, obviously, which is one of your cult classic songs.
Yeah.
And then you've got Burn. That's not a Deep Purple song.
No.
No. Just checking. And then you've got Downbound to the Crowns. That's the extra tracks for the Sound of Violence record CD. That's
right. Okay. Is that live as well, that one? Or not?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, all the songs from Rest in Pieces are all live. The last 5 songs.
Right. Okay.
So what's the bonus on the other albums like Generation Antichrist and Six? What you got on there?
I have no idea if I'm honest with you. I don't know what the plan is for these. I don't know. You probably know more than me. It's just are they coming out all at the same time, or is it Sounds of Violence first and then there's a? I really don't know, mate.
I think that according to your thing, it comes out on the 11th of November, reissued
All
all
right.
3 albums.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Okay. I should do some investigation because I am completely clueless about this.
Right then, so are they all coming out on coloured vinyl as well, do you know? Or is it...
I would guess so. Yeah, I would think so. I mean, we would kind of insist on that if that's happening because it's what a lot of people want. You know, I don't see the point of just re-releasing it if it's a standard black vinyl or a standard CD. It needs to be somewhat a little bit different. You know?
So, I mean, a lot of these reissued albums these days, it's instead of it being like 5 songs on one side and 5 on the other, they're doing like 3 songs on one side, 2 songs on the other, and putting them out as a double. Is that the kind of thing you like, or do you prefer it to be the original?
No, I prefer to keep it as original. I think obviously, I guess the Sounds of Violence is going to have to be double because of the amount of tracks on it. I would assume. And with the 40th anniversary thing we're working on, that's going to be a double album as well because there's going to be like 20, 23, 24 tracks on that. So that's going to have to be a double album as well.
Wow. Did you actually has AFM Records actually thought of re-releasing Powers from Hell and The Force, even though they've already been done on Blackened Records?
Yeah, well, Blackened have just re-released them last year, I think, again. Or Back on Black vinyl, I think they were released on that last year. So I'm sure they'll be doing something for the 40th anniversary as well. So yeah, they're always going to be available, and that's the good thing. I mean, Steve Back on Black. I mean, he's a good friend of mine, and he's a fan of Onslaught, so he's always going to do everything he can to push it and keep all those albums alive.
So, how many record labels have released all your previous albums? Is there any bootlegs? Because there's, you know, you go on eBay and you see all these like albums, and it's like Marquee Records in Brazil. I mean, they're pretty well known for releasing albums, but I know they get permission off the bands to do that.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of licenses, obviously, in Mexico and the US and Japan and stuff. So, but probably too many to count. But there's only one bootleg that I know got done. It was kind of a live in Copenhagen. It was called. That was on the Motorhead tour. That's the only real one kind of bootleg that I know that ever got kind of out there properly.
Right.
Which I don't know who did it, but maybe we'll find out one day.
So, do you think you'll be releasing another live DVD? Because so far, I think you've only done 2. You did one in Poland, and then you did the other one a couple of years ago, the Slaughterhouse one. Are you thinking of doing a new one for the next album?
Yeah, possibly, because we're just putting a new stage show together at the moment. So it would be kind of cool visually. We're doing something completely new for the band now in terms of visuals on live shows, in the right circumstances, you know. We've just recorded a couple of videos for upcoming release. So yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, it was, I think, was it 2006 or 7 was the first one in Poland.
Yeah, I've got that one.
It would have been, what was it, 2015, 16 for Live at the Slaughterhouse.
Yeah, it's the one with the black and green cover, yeah. So you've got 2 new songs you've done videos for. Can you tell me what they are? Is that Hush Hush still?
One is actually for In Search of Sanity, which
Okay.
is cool. And I can't tell you the other one yet.
Okay.
That'll give away what I was talking about earlier. But yeah, it's we re-recorded In Search of Sanity with Dave singing on it, obviously. And it just sounds amazing. It's immense. So we thought with the 40th anniversary coming up, it's going to be some re-records of classic songs from the first era of Onslaught. Just to freshen things up and make it interesting for the fans, I think. So we shot a video for that up at KK's in Wolverhampton.
KK Steel Mill.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, done it in there. I haven't seen it. It's still in the editing stage yet. I think there's another day of filming to go for some incidental stuff, but it is looking really good so far. So.
Have you actually thought of doing a song together with Psy and the current singer together, like a video, just to promote the anniversary.
Yeah, but they've done. I think I think the Metal Forces track on Sounds of Violence. Probably, I think that's a duo between Psy and Dave. What they did at Bloodstock last year. So and it sounded really cool, and the fans obviously loved it with them two up on stage. So I'm sure there's going to be more stuff where Psy will get involved in, just doing little cameos here and there, because he still loves the band obviously, and we still love Psy, so it's always nice for the fans just to see him now and again.
Brilliant. Oh well, Nigel, I'd like to thank you for doing this interview. It's been a couple of years, so you take care. Hope you're feeling better soon. Get back on the stage.
Yeah, thanks, Jess. I'm sure. Once I get these scan results through, I can kind of see what the problem is, So.
Yeah. Well, good luck with that. So, do you have anything to say to the people that are watching this on YouTube?
Just as always, I just can't thank you guys enough for supporting this band over the years. I mean, every day I get messages through from fans saying I've supported Onslaught since Power from Hell. It's just incredible that you stuck with us through this journey, and we feel we're getting better. And I hope you guys feel the same about it, because everything we do basically at the end of the day is for the fans. We got inducted into the Metal Hall of Fame a couple of months back, and that's just purely down to the fans of us getting that award, so that's for them guys. Amazing.
Congratulations, Nigel. Okay, well, thank you for the interview. Thank you, Nigel. Take care, and let's say keep in touch. Send me a text and let me know how you're getting on with the shoulder.
Yeah, I will do, Jace. Thanks, mate.